let's zoom in on somebody who I have missed in Francesca Cumani. Cheska, great to have you back. Now, baby Harry, is he already taking an interest in racing?
Well, Bruce, come on. He's going to have absolutely no choice but to take a huge interest in racing. Yeah, so he arrived back in April, not long after the championships. Can't believe he's nearly 6 months old already. He's such a little bundle of joy, and he's going to be at home watching every single race today, so we better do a good job.
We better. He looks like he could do my job in a couple of years' time already. Now, you've got a Group 1 runner today. She's already a Group 1 winner, well named in Global Glamour. You must be very excited about the 1,000 Guineas.
I am really excited about the 1,000 Guineas, and it's such a good story. You know, a couple of years ago, the Magic Millions sales, a few of us clubbed together. Well, actually, there's over 40 women in the partnership, women from America, Europe, Australia, and we thought, well, let's buy a horse, let's have a bit of fun. Little did we imagine we'd already be Group 1 winners and one of the favourites going into the 1,000 Guineas today. So, honestly, cannot wait. Come on, Global Glamour.
We're all the way with you.
He sure does. Exceeding Excel being responsible for the first 3 two-year-old winners this season. So that's a big tick in his favour. Looking at him physically, he's not the biggest. He's quite a small, neat, compact horse, which actually in a 2-year-old, that's really what you want to see because it means they're forward and ready. They haven't got a lot of growing still to do. He's got a wide barrier and his jump out was okay. He's not fully in the market, but watch him. Exactly, the first runner for that great animal kingdom. Interesting to see how he goes. I've heard quite a lot of positive things from the trainers of how these two Ambon trial won it very comfortably, just nicely in the jockey's hands. And I quite like fillies in these 2-year-old races, just because often they're a bit more forward, a bit more developed than the colts. But we'll have to see how she goes, because she's not the most fancied, but I think she'll hopefully put up a good display.
And the benefit also...
So it seems to be still improving, coming on leaps and bounds. That win we just saw was seriously impressive. But, you know, last time he met Winks, she beat him 3.5 lengths. So can we see any change in that situation?
Well, he can do something about it. So he goes on and wins the Chelmsford, then the Hill Stakes, and then he steps out at Flemington. And that was the question. Will he handle Melbourne the left-hand way and gallop out well? By geez, he did. He absolutely blew him away.
Jessica, I think the longer the distances, the more chance he's got against Winks. I wouldn't fancy him under a mile against Winks, under 1,600. But at 2,000, well, what we've seen in the spring so far, to the eye, to me, he's been just as impressive as she's been through this spring.
That's a big call. I mean, she was no slouch at 2,000, as we saw in the Cox Plate last year. I don't know. I just think she's a superstar, and yes, Hartnell's absolutely flying, but I think it'll be an interesting tussle. But I still would put my money on Winks. Well, today you probably wouldn't expect to see him winning, partly because he has got top weight. He's got 60 kilos. But yeah, you'd be hoping he'd run well and then progress towards the Melbourne Cup. But yeah, of the others, how would be their names been quite fancied, and A Sign is also going very well. Well, yeah, there has been a little bit of chat, hasn't there? I don't think they've ruled it out completely, and you wonder if the owners might be starting to think, is she the lucky charm? Do we need her on board? What do you think?
Well, it does look different. How does Prince of Penzance look to you today?
Suddenly looks a whole lot better than he did this time last year. No, he's a lovely old boy. He's so nice and calm here in the mountain yard. He's just walking out freely. Looks really well in the coat, got a lovely shine on him. Now, you wouldn't really expect the Melbourne Cup winner to be going around against these kind of horses at $7.90. I mean, the reason for that is because he's not fully you could say he's not fully wound up, but he's also got 60 kilos. So he's giving at least 6 kilos to every other horse in the field, which is a bit of a negative. And 3 runs in this prep. He's been running at Group 1 weight for age over distances shorter than ideal. So you wouldn't expect him to have been winning yet. We want to see him to start running a bit better now, but he looks great in the mounting yard.
Pemberley, number 5. One thing about this horse, Francesca, he's a winner, isn't he?
He sure is, Bruce. He's a real tough horse, and he knows where the line is. I mean, you could say horses don't know where the finishing post is, but his strike rate speaks for itself. Thing is, he's coming off the back of a win in the Matoa Cup. That's only a $30,000 race, so he is stepping up in grade, taking on better horses. But he's joint 3rd favourite. Wouldn't be the biggest surprise to see him win, but he's got to produce a career best.